Okay, we started streaming.
And so you go nothing from Jeff.
Do you want to run it?
I think that's the branch here.
Yeah, you just want to run the, just the agenda. Yeah, you just tell me where you want me to talk about. Yeah.
So just for the record, then, we'll start the meeting. That's real time, waiting Jeff, the chair. And we can actually defer the minutes, or we can just vote on them.
Yeah, we'll defer 'em.
Yeah,
Okay.
leave the minutes until later on in case Jeff comes. So we'll go straight to Mike and I'll tell you we can start to talk.
Right.
Give us your updates.
Well, thank you.
Move through the rest of the agenda because we do, we're going to spend some time following up on what Keith's thing, David and I have discussed about the
Yeah,
that sheet on.
I heard you guys really accomplished a lot. I appreciate that. Well, thank you. So I will start with the financials. In front of you and on the screen, have the January report. Did very well for that month. We exceeded a little bit over $150,000 in profit for the month, which brought our actual year to date to 559,000. Just a little over that. So we're looking very well. The avgas and jet had some great sales on the Jet A. The charters have been good, continue to be good as well. Leases, continue to thrive, and then our airport fees, they're doing very well as well because of the charters, and the services that we provide and charge for them. And really, it's really just cut and dry. Any questions on the financials?
Amount of money that you get in from the quarry.
Mm-hmm. That's
Is
gonna,
that ongoing or?
right now it's ongoing.
Yeah,
It's possible that it will end, is that March?
In March, yeah.
it said it wasn't gonna go on forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now they may opt to, continue it.
Mhm.
It'd be nice if they did, I'm glad they accepted the rent, but that is, I think, when it's normal.
Is that when they would conclude and stop operation?
No, they're leasing some property from us,
Right, yeah.
and, so it'd just be that property, that little sliver of property.
Oh, okay, then they'll continue with other.
Yeah, they'll continue with their operations.
When are they gonna actually turn it over to the purchase by the city?
It was purchased by the city, and, right now, I think we're to have 8, maybe 7 or 8 more years. That's- Yeah. So until that time, I know that the Athens-Clarke County is looking into different ways of, working that property, and of course, filling it up with water, having some parks up and running, and things. So I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen anything on paper as to what it's gonna be for that area. Operations, we are currently doing fairly well. We got 32, almost 3,300 operations for the month of January. Brought us up to 23,801 for the year. So we are holding strong. We did have some weather, so the weather did kind of slow us down a little bit during January. Capital improvements, we continue to work on a little bit on Alpha today. ER Snell's back out there. We've had a small punch list of items that needed to be taken care of. And they have some equipment out there because one of the retention ponds was low and it wasn't draining properly. And so they built it back up with some dirt and, so that it properly drained down. And so that, along with some other things, just some minor things, lights and signs and, I think some caps that need to be replaced or, never had a cap on them. Things like that, that once they finish this week, they'll be here till Thursday. So once they finish, we'll go back out there and inspect it again and make sure everything's done as, as we asked them to do. Once that's done, we can close out that tranche. And it should be pretty good. We did, I think I mentioned last meeting that we did, or we're going to hopefully receive some, funding, probably $3 million to start the, Taxaway Bravo, project. This Thursday, the bid will go out. It will go for about 30 days. And hopefully we'll get some good contractors bid on it. And, hopefully good prices too. And that way we get that project moving and done.
Is that GDOT? 3 million?
Yes, that one is GDOT because it's our secondary runaway taxiway.
Yeah,
FAA, we went from that one.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's right, you're right.
and then what's the local government going to chip in?
Yeah, so local would be 25%
25?
of that. So we're looking about maybe 700,000, something like that. And for our share, which is in SPOS, it's already in the initial SPOS. So once we get the Bravo project done, then all of the taxiways and runways would be, like 7 years. Right? After that, then we hope to do the ramps, especially around the T-hangar areas, kind of get those back to looking, good. And then there is a project also for the Bravo project. It's not in this project, but as we did with the Alpha project where we kind of created a parallel. I was hoping to do it with this project, but there just wasn't enough money. So we have that as a separate project to do later on down the road. But we'll do the same thing with parallel and Bravo, which will give us more ramp space, for tie downs and then also for, game days. We won't have to park folks in the grass like we do.
The north end from Alpha up
Yeah,
to the bridge end of 20.
yeah, right. Yep. Yeah. And then we'll try to, pave all of that around it. So that'd be a nice project. The parking lot project is, being designed still. We haven't really set anything up as far as when we're gonna get that, or GDOT's never told me when we're gonna get any money for it. But if there is any fallout money, Yeah, so this is, Mike Ryder, who was with the LPA at the time, they were an engineer consultant for the airport. They have a concept where they put some box hangers and T hangers right here. And, and they drove in through one of these roads that comes around. Which road? Not this one. Anyway, they drove here and they had T hangers. Boxes here, but you'd have to tie it into to the runway or create another taxi. That might be a long term. Pretty costly as well. But if somebody wanted to build, like corporate hangars, they could build them down there too.
Where does the jail property end?
Pretty much where you use,
Is it?
yeah, so some of those trees are ours, yeah. They do have a fence kind of on the other side of those trees. And we kind of tie into their fence with that new fence we put in, we tie into some of it. Kind of goes into the woods, yeah.
I mean, this area here, if you could come off this road
Yeah,
and into the airport and have however much space you can have over here, then you have taxiway, this is probably undevelopable up to some point because
Yeah.
of Ortec.
yeah,
And you already have city road coming up at least a year.
I could see several corporate hangars right there.
Right, in this area.
Yeah. You can do that.
Um,
I think we could do that. I think the restriction is right where that road is. So beyond that road and in the woods there, you could do them.
the Wartacker section?
No, the restriction to, being so close to the road.
Oh,
Yeah, the building restriction. Yeah, right. So you can't do
so
anything.
you can't come inside of this,
Yeah, so outside of that, yeah.
but all of this area.
Yeah, yeah. I think you could. It's a good idea. I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
Fencing.
And it's already city property,
Yeah.
so to get that road into that area,
Yeah.
all of, at least all of the, maintenance sort of stuff could move in that direction.
Yeah.
Because for that, you don't really, for an operation like Airstar, it makes sense for them to have easy access to 927.
Yeah.
So they're constantly in and out on that runway.
Right.
For a maintenance sort of thing, even if it's for the big stuff, and they can come down any taxiway and anything little, just hop right off and go into the maintenance shed.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm gonna have Andrew do a concept of that area. There.
Yeah, I like that for corporate.
Yeah.
And I mean, when was the last time you were in Lawrence? You go
Yeah.
down, they have one runway
Mm-hmm.
and that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Corporate box,
Yeah.
corporate box, all the way down.
Yeah.
If that pans out, potentially tie a road around inside or outside, you have less far to go, or cut in again. But if it's working over here, then you can
Yeah.
talk about, putting in another taxiway on that side to tie in there. But
I like that. You have a lot of infrastructure there. You don't have to move anything to it, truck them.
And anybody coming in off the street isn't gonna be at all deterred by the fact that you cut in where the tag office is and then cut,
Yeah.
the fact that there's the jail that, it's not like bringing in the general public to get on an airline flight and it's like, oh, how do you get to the airport? Well, you can go to the jail and then take a right. I can understand not maybe wanting to promote it that way, but for somebody going to it. Okay.
Well, there's a real good entranceway there. Right now, they've got a bunch of, They followed, trash bins. Right here. Yeah, I think that's it, yeah, that'd be a good entrance, or we have to move the trash cans.
Well, take them up to empty. So imagine that. Pretty
Yeah.
portable.
Yeah.
And it alleviates the how do you cross 97 issue, or
Yeah. Yeah,
at
it
least,
does.
at least for the.
Until we can build something. Right.
What's happening with that proposal A? It's still sitting there?
Still sitting there, hopefully nothing right now. Still gonna need it.
Your options.
Well, one of my hopes, and Dav and I talked about this, is, with the eVTOL, electric vehicle takeoff landing, aircraft that they're starting to build. That would be a great place right there to have that and build something out. Somebody came in and wanted to build something out, be it, a small cargo or whatever, maybe just passenger service or something, but that would be nice right there. Nice, it's not flat, but you could build it flat. It's out of the way and, it'd be a good choice. Anyway. So, let's see, man, as far as marketing and outreach activities, let's see. We had, what did we have here, Gavin?
The innovation ambassadors were here, and then the supervisory,
Yeah, that's right.
Athens-Clarke County.
Yeah, so I had both of those here. I spoke to both of them, showed them around, gave them a little tour. So we had them here. They were, I always like to see new people here that never been here. And get their questions because it's, it really enlightens them as to what we really have out there. But that was nice to them. And of course, we showed them the fire truck. They love that. They all love it. That's another thing I need to bring up is that we do have an agenda item that's going in front of the mayor and commission. Hopefully be approved at the, April meeting. We are getting roughly either 800,000 or 1.2 million, for a new ARF truck. And, it depends on, we have some funding, some bill money funding, but we don't know and GDOT doesn't know if it's been released yet or not, with the current administration. So, so I have to go one way or the other, but we're gonna at least put a nice down payment on it, whether it's the 800 or the 1.25, 1.2 million. And, and it's gonna be a 2-year process to build this thing. So when it is built, then we'll have the remainder of the money available to finish paying for it. So that's my report.
Questions, Steve, anything? This time for the next one, opens. I was saying that before, we would slow pace of these sidewalk projects, for the small amounts of money, but at least they're using it. They're interestingly are involved in the land acquisition phase. Because really what they have to do literally to complete that sidewalk improvement all the way along Lexington to Johnson Drive or GDOT. They actually have to go to all those homeowners or business owners and purchase a strip of their property fronting on the road to do the construction. So they're in the land acquisition phase doing that, and also we get permission to do surveying. So there's that probably a slow process, but you can imagine some people would say, well, no, I'm not paying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not selling for that amount, give me more. So that's where they are. They actually go. Because there's some old houses along there, there's an insurance company in a big old house. There's an assortment of properties. They're moving. So,
Is there like for the whole Lexington project, is there like a target date for completion?
I think there will tentative dates.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is taking forever. I mean, this is, what is this? Now, into the next year, it's taken nearly all of last year.
Yeah.
It's a slow process for me to go from there. Acquisition. It's, because people just don't respond. You know. It's a slow process, I'm sure. It's just interesting because this is what you get into, you know, this used to be a road out into the countryside, just and out into the sticks. You know, they're trying to make it into something much bigger with more infrastructure, and it's slow. Because a lot of those old houses, people don't want to sell, even a strip. You know, there's one homeowner that's got two very big old oak trees almost right on the street, and they don't want those trees to be cut down, so they don't want to sell their strip along the street. Don't ask me what to do. It's just one slow.
You can go, around it and sell more of their property.
Vote to the domain and just do it, you know, that's probably what will happen. Probably even the dead. So it's just, you know, snail's pace, you know, shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It's tiny compared to what you see the Vegeta operation is, but at least they're using it.
Yeah.
Down projects, you know. So the next thing is new business, and we don't have any, because we're still too mired under old business. But then if we move on to standing committees, I guess this is where we really need or hope to, you know, focus much of the meeting with the fact sheet update. And David, you were here on Friday, and you was here, and I was here. So you probably know, you know, we actually spent much more than. So Keith, turn it over to you. Keith, I just want to say yet again, at the risk of being redundant, thank you for the amount of work you've put in.
Not much different from everybody else.
Well, you have really stuck with it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
We, so on Friday, and I shared, put together a document, David, you've seen it, right? And Diane and Mac, we four that got together on Friday, I put together a document that kind of goes by page in the, fact sheet. That's assuming the way I forwarded it, and, numbers on would be the way that it turns out, but it can change either way. And then so put together a document that we've reviewed. It has a couple of things in there that we didn't totally decide on, the gray areas, but we want to push through that. And, I did send that, since I got responses from y'all, or you all had seen it, I did send that to Davin and Mike earlier today for y'all to look at it. And then the next step, as far as tying down the contents of the fact sheet, would be, I guess, Mike, Davin, whatever input y'all got, let me know, but maybe some point next week, hopefully. Davin, I guess I could, connect with you. I can come out here to the airport. We can go through this.
It might be good if we got Alice on.
That's exactly what I was gonna ask you, if we wanna just do it that way. But
Yeah.
if you go through the I'll tell you what, if you
Yeah.
go through the document, and Mike, if you've got any things with it, and then Davin, you just let me know. If you get, I think we should shoot for next week to try to
Yeah.
call her. Let me know if you want, she and you and me together,
Yeah.
or if we need to tie down something first before calling them.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can get this tied down. So, man, it was a real good meeting, a lot of, input, kind of looking at some things a little different ways, but we didn't totally change the, fact sheet, but a lot of significant, revisions that we think kind of fit based on some good input everybody had. So then we, started toward the end of the meeting, and Michael mentioned this to you, I was talking to you earlier today. We're talking about, we're putting a lot of effort into this fact sheet. It's a lot of good stuff. What can we, what could be the plans? Should we look at, as far as distribution, exposure, get this document out there? A little bit tied to that is that we do want to have probably a QR code on here.
Yeah, I
I
like
think
that.
Mac and Diane, or somebody brought that up in, our last authority meeting, or maybe the one on Friday. Having a QR code that, will link to our website, maybe even our links to, the, old or complete version of the fact sheet, where we've got a lot more details, since we're sort of simplifying this one a little bit. And, so, we'll want to, do that, but we were So we started a discussion about, any ideas on the distribution and so forth. Didn't want to get too far without, all of us talking about it. And thought we may spend just a little bit of time, today, with that. Diane or David, y'all want to kind of take it a little further, started.
Well, we sort of circled around the question, because it's not for us to say, but obviously, we always put a lot of work into this, but there's a need for money in the budget and an interest that you have in actually printing it. And then, there's the question of distribution. We discussed the fact that actually, with your agreement, we'd be willing to help distribute them, if you printed 200 copies or 500 copies or whatever, places that they could go. It's in the strategic plan to try and help members of the public learn about, the airport. Just, in this building, but also the other building, and then also elsewhere in locations in town, we wanted us to, take a part of them and post them in places.
Yeah.
But it would require, really, we have money in the budget to actually print it, and if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and how long has it been now since the last one we printed?
Yeah.
It's been several years, but this one would go several years
Yeah.
as well. So, and those years, how many people do we actually meet? We meet a lot of folks.
Yeah.
We do all these, classes or, these tours, and we're always handing it out to those folks, the chamber events and whatnot. And, but yeah, so we have enough in the budget where we can make it work. We get enough for, last us several years.
Are you looking at the company in Rome that?
Yeah,
things
we can always use somebody different, but yeah, they've always been good. They've worked with us. They know exactly what we want and how we, they work well. Like when we make changes, they're very good at, those responses. So, yeah, we just never changed. We just continue to use them,
As far as the budget, is that somewhat flexible? It's not something we say, well, we've got $3,000 to do this, is it? And I don't know exactly how much the cost is gonna be, but this is a general idea.
Well, normally, we try to keep it under 2,500, because that's our P card. If it goes over that, then we'll have to put it out to bid, which is no big deal.
Okay,
But we'll just have to spend the time to get 3 quotes out of this, get 3 quotes and tell them exactly what we need. But then they've got to learn our, how we want it. We got to proof it and all that. Where this time, this person knows us already, but either way, it's good. It all works out
okay.
fine. But
So we before, are they able to do it in this protocol format?
they can, oh yeah, they can do
Yeah,
it.
is that more expensive? I don't know.
I don't know. That's something we'll have to see.
Usually it's like a per item or there's a folding fee,
Yeah.
so that'll.
I used to work for a printing company, and then what we did was folded, was just this is way back when, I don't know what they got now, but we were just putting this thing and it fed it like a printer, and it would just fold it, fold it.
So,
Yeah. The common printers have finishers that will fold or collate or
Yeah, I'm
staple
sure
or
they
bind,
Yeah.
Simply.
Well, we talked about, the need for a sort of multiplier effect, that really, all these groups that come, whoever actually hosts the group
Yeah.
should, ideally, if you were to agree, is a sheet of them and say, yeah,
Okay.
to the teachers, to the kids,
Mhm.
if you can give it out to school kids and their teachers, or whoever copies them, and it'll go back into the classroom,
Yep.
they can use it to do an exercise with kids.
Yeah.
And that's the way to get it beyond just the airport.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So,
Yeah.
when we talked about, if there were places around town that you wanted us to put them, we would shut.
Chamber, yeah.
Surrounding counties, as I always say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people say too, Tony County and the like,
Yeah,
there's so much business is going into a county, it's bridge that whole area.
Yeah.
So,
David, you have any input on this?
Where it goes,
Well, just the general idea about it.
Yeah, yeah.
As far as thoughts.
Yeah, I brought up, talking to Grant and seeing if he'll get them in the hotel lobbies.
So,
We spoke about Jeff Montgomery, talking to him.
yeah,
I feel like every time I go into one of the department, planning or finance, there's those plexiglass brochure holder things. They're at grocery stores, you see them at every hotel.
yeah,
I would imagine that certainly most businesses that are dedicating space to that sort of thing want it stocked. It looks a lot better stocked
yeah.
than not. So provided they have any room for it, I'm sure they'd be happy to, restock it or hold on to our.
All the hotels, yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, we could do a tentative list, like there's the welcome center, there's the,
Chamber of
the
Commerce,
Chamber of Commerce, there's the
the Plastic Center,
There's a place in the basement of the,
Visitors Bureau.
city hall, where Jeff McGoley's office is,
Right.
there's a whole wall, of those, for David to be
Yeah.
looking from, with brochures of everything under the sun. It should be there.
Yeah, it should be.
Like solid waste and all these different divisions of brochures.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
That's really what we talked about.
Yeah.
Our hope was that in these rounds of putting in updates and damage, a great deal of the time.
Yeah.
Just to say, well, they didn't serve the purpose. My hope is also that we also, there's a huge opportunity, we get it into the schools, if we put it in the hands of the teachers. And the kids are told, bring it to class, take it home, show your parents. Yeah.
What do you think, Mike, as far as, I don't know, we want to try to get the production. We could do this at the next authority meeting, just have a little bit of a further brainstorming about this kind of stuff.
Well, what's on the paper here, is that what you want to see, or?
Yeah, this is pretty much includes all the adjustments, the Friday meeting, prior discussions, the things from the last authority meeting where everybody talked about it, or any updates to those things from Friday. This pretty much includes everything we want to change versus what's in the current fact sheet.
And there were a couple of things where we agreed to ask Mike, like you got it on
Yeah.
page
And Brianna,
3A. There was an issue that Mac kept pushing for, and that was to change section about make it safety management instead of official status.
yeah, he felt like that,
I said, well, that's something, that's your call, because you'd actually given us the information.
Yeah, I saw that on here, that's good,
Mac was thinking, I think I was, I mentioned to you earlier on the phone, Mike, that Mac was thinking, and we were discussing that this airport safety features, technology and so forth is something to really kind of make stand out as,
It's a big deal, yeah.
So that was the thought there.
yeah, I like that.
So there were some more things, in there, but, I don't know if you wanted, I don't think we meant to go through them right now at this time, so I don't know if Gavin might go through and look at it, and then when I come to see Gavin, whatever, to contact the printer, go through it.
So next meeting, you're saying, once you and Davin, I look at this, once you and Davin get together, give it a printer, have another draft and bring that to the next meeting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully so. I don't know how much that costs us each time that she does
Yeah,
that, but I
so
think.
hard nothing, but if we keep doing it, it's hard enough, I'm sure.
Yeah, we wanted to really try to tie this thing
Yeah.
down this time. I think that's why we kind of step back, rethink it, and then move forward in our Friday meeting with what we wanted to do. So I think hopefully we purged out everything. So we do want to have that to present to the next authority. And then the distribution stuff is kind of a separate.
Right.
If we could talk at that, March meeting also about the
Yeah.
brainstorm a little bit about that and tie down plans or any help we can provide.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll come up with some lists as well.
Okay.
What we mentioned today is very wonderful, yeah, because every one of those would be beneficial.
Yeah. So, Devin, when you think as far as you and I trying to get together or include not mine or whatever, but, I don't know if we can try for it before this week's over with, or if we need to add more time, but probably at least, first of next week, right? So that we can get Allison, she can have time, and then we've got this new version for the next authority meeting.
And I think, I mean, in all honesty, I've told Keith, you know, replying to him sending this stuff, that I think it's time. You know, you come to a point where you can just pick over the document forever.
Yeah.
And it's already gone way longer than we initially.
Yeah,
thought.
yeah.
You know, people trying to bring new ideas in last time that could have been brought up 2 months ago. So I think it's really time to say, all right, enough. Get it finished now.
Yeah, we could go on and on forever. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah,
And then if you know, if there were other places that you think it would be useful to have them,
mhm,
you know,
Yeah.
We could make some brainstorming, come up with sort of a tentative list of
Yeah.
really carve it, then if you wanted members of the authority to help, you know, somehow.
yeah, that'd be good.
It's a problem, you know.
So hopefully when we, since we were kind of assigned to, us four get together and kind of hash this out and finalize the fact sheet, then hopefully we'll just kind of review it and somebody sees something important, but it's not like a re-review of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you talked about some brainstorming for distribution.
Thank you so much for this work. This is a lot of work right here. I appreciate it. All of it. Getting it done.
This is,
There was a pain on the rear end of it with David. Friday, I tell you what, actually, that's just a joke.
Harrison, I mean, there's some reformatting that you should have to do in terms of the font size.
Yeah.
And things, but I think that's also why we must say everybody's had a good chance now.
Yeah.
It's finalized once and for all, so we don't just keep making the.
Yeah.
We do.
That will add to the price.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
If you do that. Yeah.
so,
All right, so we're done.
Yeah, good stuff.
anything else about the fact sheet? I guess any of us, if we have ideas about where we could actually, you know, put it.
Yeah.
We can bring those ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the next, authority meeting, we'll tie that down, anything that can help.
Yeah.
Yeah, not interfere, but help and get it out there.
No, that'd be great.
Okay, well, operating, David, anything?
News.
Okay, and a service development, I guess we still stuck where we are.
Yeah. Of course, man.
All right, if, unless there's any other business, I mean, I would suggest that we defer the minutes until the next meeting. Conference. I did actually send out, the draft document, just with a couple of tiny edits to all of you and to Gavin. So Gavin, if you want, if we're gonna defer the minutes, you know, you can just fill those in and then we'll look at them.
I got that.
Back.
Okay, it's just where, let's see, you know, we haven't had a part of it was because I was out the last, speaking of the quarterly strategic planning. So we missed that, and I missed the last authority meeting and kind of got off track with it. Anyway, what I would propose, and then I'm going to be out again for the April authority meeting. If we leave it at the fourth Tuesday in the month, and that would be normally when we do the strategic plan, because it's after we have results and all. But since it's been a number of months, I'm wondering if we want to do this strategic plan review in March. You want to do it in the March meeting? I'll be here. If we do it the fourth Tuesday in April, I won't be able to be here.
Okay.
So we would build that into the agenda for next time.
Right, yeah.
What's the difference? All right, any other business? Any business or leftover stuff? So we'll defer the minutes till next time and we'll put in the strategic plan review the next time. Okay, well, then the next meeting, as noted here, is on March the 23rd. So. And by then we'll might see where we stand with lots of things.
Yeah, yeah.
So, there's nothing else we can grant to adjourn. We might have a motion.
So moved.
They will, seconds?
So,
Please, okay, in favor? Junie?
That's it.
Okay, you can go now, David, back to all your other worries.
Swim lessons.